Hello, and thank you for watching this regional forecast for the Northeast. I'm Andrew Pritchard, meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. Well, temperatures across the region, they're cold off to the north. We've got mid-20s across Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, portions of upstate New York, but then we warm all the way up to the 40s and 50s as you head down toward portions of southern Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Maryland. We've got a ridge in the subtropical jet stream right now across the Gulf Coast with a couple disturbances kind of coming in from the northern plains into the Great Lakes that have kicked off some thunderstorms riding up and along the top of that ridge. You can see that when we look at the radar picture here this morning. Again, some showers and storms across Minnesota and Wisconsin moving into the UP of Michigan. We've also got some scattered showers and storms moving from Ohio into western portions of Pennsylvania early this morning as well. So we look at the surface or the hazards map from the National Weather Service here on this Tuesday morning. Pretty quiet across much of the eastern half of the United States. We've got a winter storm watch in effect across portions of western and central Maine, and that's going to be having to do with some wintry precipitation coming in around Thursday that we'll take a look here in a moment. Otherwise, we'll be talking about the potential for some strong storms across southern and western portions of the Northeast, and that is primarily across western and southern portions of Pennsylvania, getting into Maryland and maybe southern New Jersey south from there. Talking about the potential for maybe an isolated tornado in far western Pennsylvania. The bigger threat here is just going to be some large hail and maybe some gusty winds with some of the stronger storms. Tomorrow, the risk goes a little bit south. We have a risk of maybe an isolated thunderstorm across portions of Pennsylvania into New Jersey. But the severe weather risk south of the Northeast, same going to be true on Thursday. The marginal risk for strong storms across portions of Maryland and southern New Jersey, and then back from the south and the east from there. We'll look at the surface map right now as we get started. Here's the cold front right now that's kept things on the cooler side across the northern half of the Northeast. The warm front right now moving into western and southern portions of Pennsylvania. That's where the showers and storms are developing here early this morning. As we jump ahead to tonight, we're going to see that warm front slowly lifting into the region. That gives us that chance for some scattered storms, a couple severe storms possible along and south of that warm front where we've got the warm and unstable air. And that's why we've got the risk across southern and western portions of primarily Pennsylvania. Heading into tomorrow morning, the area of low pressure sweeps into the region. Showers and storms could continue. We then turn our attention back to the west for the next approaching area of low pressure on Wednesday evening into Thursday. This storm system swings through, bringing the chance for some snow across northern portions of the Northeast region. That's where we have the winter storm watch in effect across portions of Maine. As we head into Saturday morning, we'll see quiet but cooler conditions across the region. Then turning our attention back towards the west and the south, we've got another developing storm system across the southern plains that's going to move into the Northeast region in some fashion, but we have very little agreement between our long-range models on how exactly that's going to happen. So we'll look at the jet stream. Again, here's that ridge in the subtropical jet stream. We're watching a couple of waves originating out of the northern plains and the Canadian prairie, bringing in those chances for showers and storms over the next couple of days. And it's this wave right here that comes sweeping out Wednesday into Thursday that's really going to bring the chance for more unsettled weather across the Northeast region as we get into the Thursday and Friday time frame. What we see here when you see a core of very strong jet stream winds like this moving into the region, and then additionally you see the winds kind of fanning out. I know I'm drawing a lot of lines on here. That gives us a lot of rising motion within the column of the atmosphere, really helping things rise, getting that lift in the region. That helps develop cloud cover and precipitation. So that's why we're, again, looking for the potential for a very unsettled end to the work week. The high-resolution NAM model taking it into the end of the week. We'll bring this into Tuesday evening right now, watching for that warm front, again, kind of draped across this region, watching for showers and storms to develop along that as we head into the afternoon and evening hours, the early overnight, spreading into the coastal regions here, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, getting some of that shower and storm activity as we head into the late overnight right around after midnight. We'll be quiet then for a big chunk of the day on Wednesday. Maybe breezy, a bit cooler across the region, but showers and storms mostly avoiding the area. It's as we head into Thursday morning, we'll see this next area of low pressure beginning to sweep into the region, bringing again another chance for showers and storms, blustery conditions, and some snow off to the north. This is what it looks like at around 1 p.m. on Thursday. This would be the cold front sweeping through the region, a line of showers and storms expected along that, and then on the back side, cold air coming around on the north and west side of the storm. That'll bring the chance for some frozen precipitation as we head into Thursday evening, Thursday night. A bit of a closer look, kind of heading through the forecast quickly with the high-resolution NAM model. Watching first that chance for some scattered storms, a few of which could be strong to severe, moving through western and southern portions of Pennsylvania during the day today. As we head into the overnight, showers and storms begin to spread further inland, further into the northeast region, I really should say, across portions of New York, getting into Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island as we get into the midnight hour. Maybe a cold rain mixing with some snowflakes across northern portions of this band of precipitation across, central New York, getting into New Hampshire, Vermont, and Maine. Maybe a cold rain with a few snowflakes mixing in overnight tonight. Quiet for the day on Wednesday as far as precipitation goes. As we get into Thursday, here comes the next storm system approaching from the west. Again, the chance for maybe, a couple strong storms producing some gusty winds on the southern end here with this little squall line. A colder rain here across portions of New York, New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island. And then as we get into Thursday night, we'll talk about the chance for some snow and talking about the potential for some very blustery conditions. We're looking at wind gusts now on Thursday afternoon, gusting 40 to 50 miles per hour, both on the warm side of the storm system and on the backside where we've got cold air coming in. So very blustery conditions expected Thursday and Friday as the storm system ramps up across the region. We then turn our attention back to the west. This is the storm system we'll be watching for the weekend. So let's play it out. Let's watch all of the players here. Let's bring it back to today. This is the wave that comes sweeping in, bringing the disturbances on Thursday and Friday. Look at that thing really wind up as we get into Thursday, keeping the impacts in the region all the way into Friday, potentially. We then turn our attention to the storm system off to the southwest. This cutoff low is going to eventually get picked up by the subtropical jet stream, which is going to swing it into the southern U.S., potentially bringing a severe weather outbreak to portions of the southeast, and then ultimately bringing some more unsettled weather to the northeast as we get into Sunday and Monday. Now, what exactly that looks like, we have very low confidence right now. Let's look at the next 2 days. First, looking at the chance for some strong storms across portions of western and southern Pennsylvania heading through the day today. Those showers and storms spreading into the rest of the northeast region as we head into the overnight. Watching for the chance for some unsettled, blustery, cold, and rainy conditions Thursday and Friday with some snow on the north side of the storm system, especially across Maine. This is where the winter storm watch is in effect already. So looking like Thursday night into Friday morning, potentially very unsettled across especially northern and coastal portions of the northeast. Right here is where we could see some of those very windy, very snowy conditions as we head through Thursday night into Friday morning as this storm system intensifies and peaks in intensity right across this region. We'll be able to talk again on Friday morning about the impacts there across the northeast region. So there's your heads up. Looks like the most unsettled period across the northeast as far as the next 5 days goes is going to be this Thursday night into Friday morning storm system, and the impacts being the most severe off to the north. We'll then head into the weekend, watching the next storm system approaching from the south and from the west, looking like we could see another high-impact storm system across the northeast, at least in terms of blustery and rainy conditions, but very little agreement between the long-range models. The European model right now with a quite intense-looking storm system bringing some severe weather to portions of the southeast, maybe some snow to portions of the Midwest and the Great Lakes. But I'll let you know that the model run 12 hours before that had a very different solution, a much weaker and further southwest storm system. And then if we look at the GFS, difference is still a little bit weaker, a little bit further southeast than the run just last night. We've got the snow in a very different point or a very different location here. So letting you know that we do have another big storm system coming this weekend. We're in a very active pattern, but very low confidence in the immediate impacts across the northeast as we get into Sunday and Monday. So we'll look at the probability of 3 inches or more of snow accumulating over the next 10 days. We see those highest probabilities off to the north, especially, with the storm system coming in Thursday night into Friday. That's going to be bringing a period of heavy snow, some very blustery conditions, extremely, wintry weather as we go through the period Thursday night into Friday morning, especially across the north. This is going to bring an end to the unseasonable warmth that we are enjoying right now, especially across southern portions of the northeast region. We'll see cooler conditions coming in over the weekend. Maybe a return to warmer conditions just for a day or two on the warm side of the approaching storm system Sunday and Monday. But then cooler air once again comes in on the backside as we get into the first days of next week. It looks like a transition to a cooler pattern as we head into the middle of April. We'll look at your high temperatures over the next 5 days. Today, we've got temperatures from the 40s in Maine all the way down to near 70 across southern and western Pennsylvania. That's where that chance of severe storms will be found. Very similar look for the day on Wednesday. Thursday cooling off just a tad. Friday cooler still, 30s and 40s across the region with blustery conditions and some rain likely with snow off to the north. Warming up slightly Saturday and Sunday, and then we'll have to watch for the next cool down coming Monday and Tuesday of next week. With the cool down comes the chance for some frost across widespread portions of the Northeast beginning on Friday, and then more heightened chances for frost as we get into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week.